some of you, and I am absolutely thrilled to be standing here in front of some of the most beautiful spirits that work here in the Texas Medical Center and surrounding areas of Houston and beyond. My mother was a nurse. You read about her on the back page of your program today. Her name was Emma Josephine Loeffelholz McMorris, and she was a nurse that was called into the service when the Navy needed more nurses. And she willingly went and was shipped to San Diego and served in the Navy. And that's where she met my father. His name was Andrew Sheridan McMorris. He was brought into the San Diego port when he was wounded in the war. This was the Korean War. So Sheridan Andrew was being put on the neurological floor, and my mother was moved to that floor that day and met my father, and the rest is history. They fell in love and dated and were married a year later. And Emma Josephine and Andrew Sheridan had 6 children. I'm one of 6, the 5th of those 6 children. As I was sharing with Stuart Nelson. Stuart, will you please stand up? I'd like for you all to thank Stuart, please. Stuart has been with us all day long and has supported this program all day. And he is in work in the field of psychology and has been quite some time and will continue doing so. He's with the Institute of Spirituality and Health, also interning with us right now. 3 years ago, as a trustee on the board of the Institute, I love serving in that capacity with the Institute of Spirituality and Health. We met to try to find ways to continue to celebrate the profession of nursing. And this is one of the things that we wanted to do, was to establish an award in spirituality for all of your beautiful work. I wrote a bit of a story on one of my own memories about my mother, and I'm sure it is just a sample of the way that you all are always working so hard with your patients and demonstrating empathy and kindness and compassion and just listening so deeply to the fears and the concerns that they have. So it is my privilege to honor your profession in my dear mother's name, and my own siblings who could not be here with me today, they all live in Colorado, join me in honoring you all in her name. So this award exemplifies those 4 things, as you see in your program: spirituality and compassion and communication and commitment. And personally, I want to join Dr. Cosi also in her comments in allowing you all a few moments to think about the people in every area of life, how they are marginalized, and how you are often going to be the first people that will understand that aspect of their unique spirit right there in the room with you. I serve as a chaplain. I'm a trained chaplain. My church, I'm employed right across the street. You see that red steeple. But I don't think chaplains necessarily hear or see much differently than what you all hear and see. You have a deep and careful vision those walls, those 4 walls of the patient room become very small, and you spend a lot of time with your patients, so you hear the languages of fear and concern and intrepidation. You see a lot of different family dynamics going on that nobody else sees. So we applaud you in capturing those things, like marginalization, or patients that are worried about their financial bill and they don't know who to talk to, worried about family dynamics, or even just have a story to tell, like Dr. Levy recommended this morning. I don't know how many of you have done this, but I certainly have, as a chaplain, written letters of forgiveness. That once they're in the hospital, they make that decision. I have people to forgive. I have people that I would like to reconcile with. So I know that you all have experienced those times, and God bless each and every one of you for all of your beautiful and hard work. As we give these awards today, we have 3 to give, actually 4, but the 4th individual was not able to come from Methodist Hospital. But if you could come forward, please. We have the 3 recipients today. Rita Wagner from Texas Children's Hospital. Rita, if you'll come forward, please. You'll stand right here, please, Rita. And is your supervisor or anyone with you here today? Oh, wonderful. Great. Terrific. Okay. So this is the award for Rita, and it has my mother's name on it. It's presented to you, also the Institute of Spirituality and Health, and I'm honored to stand here with Dr. Cosi and her great research to honor you and give you this award. And we also have a monetary gift for you, Rita, that we hope helps with education or something fun. You're welcome. Congratulations to you.
Seanna, who happens to be her assistant director. She says Rita Wagner was chosen for this award because of her tireless commitment to our patients and families. She truly fosters a loving, spiritual environment for her families. Rita often takes the extra time to listen and pray with families. She relates to them on different levels and views their well-being as a dynamic situation, not one-dimensional. Rita has been a nurse at Texas Children's Hospital since 1978. In that time, Rita has touched countless lives of patients, families, visitors, and staff. Rita is an ongoing source of support and expertise for our unit and families. And because of this, we're very honored to have her as our recipient this year from our hospital. Thank you.
Our next recipient is Seanna D. Avian with MD Anderson. Yes, please come forward. Dr. Cosi has your award. Great, thank you.
It's for her.
It's for her.
Yes, here you go. Sorry, I grabbed it for you. So, yes, I'm so excited for you. I'm sorry. Sorry, no, I'm snorting. Anyway, so I'm pleased to be here, and I'm pleased to accept the award for her. Anyway, Seanna is actually a lovely nurse and person. I actually hired her And I'm honored to have worked with her for the past 2 years at MD Anderson at the Melanoma and Sarcoma Inpatient Unit. I hired her as a new grad, a doe-eyed new grad, and she has become an exemplary nurse, just a brilliant person, and just a lovely person to work with. So for the past 2 years, she has accomplished a lot of things, and she's one of those people who just goes in the patient's room and with just a simple and sincere, "How are you doing?" She opens a lot of doors, and just by being there for the patients, listening to them during their battle with cancer, Seanna just connects with the patients, and she makes a difference with their lives and leaves a lasting imprint on them. And Seanna believes that the journey of our patients with cancer, it's like a battle, and it is a marathon. And sometimes she feels that she has to be either a cheerleader or just to be a shoulder to cry on for them. And since it's a journey, sometimes journeys have to end. And then, of course, there's a grieving process that comes when the journeys end. So with Seanna, she has created this beautiful memorial board in our conference room for the nurses also to have that grieving process, when our patients pass, and also to celebrate the beauty of life of our patients. So I think it's wonderful that she has done that for us, and she distinguishes that, there's compassion fatigue among the caregivers as well. So aside from that, Seanna is an avid part of the community as a church goer, and we also have patients in the community, and they know that she's from MD Anderson, so they've hang on to her for support as well. So she's been a lovely pillar for them as well. So thank you.
And Avery Taylor, if you'll come forward, please. Congratulations. Would you like to say something, please?
Thank you very much. Congratulations, Avery. Avery is an absolutely inspirational, motivational nurse at the hospital. I was in the hallway one day talking with her, and her eyes just glow as she takes care of patients, talks about the team and what it is to make a difference in the care. I'd like to read a few things from her nomination, because this is something we hold very important and near and dear to our hearts as a faith-based organization, that Avery is here to represent St. Luke's Nursing in the spirituality and what she holds near and dear. Some of her comments, and I'd like to recognize her manager in the crowd here, Deborah Thompson, and she can come up here and say a few words too if she'd like. But Avery, it's evident in every interaction that she's a believer. She's subtle, not spouting verses, and certainly extremely humble. She gives unselfishly. She recognizes the needs of patients to receive love, which she gives unconditionally. Avery also recognized the needs of healthcare providers to refill their own bucket, to be able to continue giving. She takes a personal interest in others and encourages them to find the things that replenish them. Whether it's a connection to a church family, running a marathon, or a weekend vacation, Avery does not hesitate to offer a hug or encouraging words to boost patients and coworkers through their struggles. Her positive attitude is a boost to everyone she encounters. Avery, thank you so much for being such an inspiration to nursing at St. Luke's Episcopal Hospital. We treasure your contributions that you provide and the compassion that you deliver and how you touch each and every one of our lives. Thank you. Everyone.
I think some people are just born to be nurses, and Avery's heart is just, it's just so natural the way she interacts with people, the way she supports everyone. So it's just a really pleasure to work with her, to watch her grow as a nurse. The technical stuff, the time management, all that stuff everybody learns, but that true compassion comes from deep within her, and it's just awesome.
Could we have all the recipients come forward, please? Yes, that'd be great. The recipients, and if your supervisor is here, that'd be great, or a family member. We also have a past awardee. Would you like to join us, please? She was given the award last year, and I'll never forget her tears. She made me cry, and we all cried together. I do want you all to know that on behalf of my dear mother, thank you so very much for all that you do, day in and day out, and your commitment to this career of nursing. She was the finest woman I will ever know. And so I know that she would love each of you so much and be so proud of the work that you're doing and the way you're caring for so many people's lives. So I thank you from her and from my entire family and the Institute of Spirituality and Health for making spirituality so very important. Mary Helen, did you want to be one of the photos?